Hello, everyone. Yes, you're welcome to today's live session. So, guys, we have a fresh update to give you guys. There have been this speculation on the topic of Atiku trying to get Tinubu's record from the United States. We are getting information, yet though we are yet to verify that this request has been granted to Atiku, meaning that Atiku is already, at the verge of winning this case in the United States. So we want to review that if this be true, because by tomorrow we'll be bringing the confirmation of this news, because we got the information from some sites. We want to confirm it, from other bigger sites before we come out to say, yes, this is certain that this is what is happening in the United States. So at the moment, there is this speculation that the US has granted Atiku his request that they should provide him Tinubu's records. We all know that the president of Nigeria has said they shouldn't release his gender, neither should they release his transcript. He wants only his certificate. I mean, the one he submitted to INEC to be released to Atiku. But Atiku is rejecting that. And so many people, like if you go to the online space, people have been persuading Atiku not to give up in this fight. He should ensure he fights it to finish. And it appears Atiku is really getting his prayers answered. We want to look at the implications, because by tomorrow is going to be confirmed if really Atiku has gotten this information, this record in his hand. We want to look at what is it going to look like if finally it is discovered that the person who went to that university is a female and not a male, just like we've been saying it on this platform. But before I allow Dr. Tel in, let's take this reaction that came from Rufai, and then Doctor will come.
Certain who is when that document is released. And please, it's not about Atiku Abubakar. It's about the integrity of the seat of the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And this is a cry for all Nigerians. It is sad enough that the president legal team has said it's going to cause him irreparable damage. I keep asking, for what irreparable damage? For your own results and transcript to be released? If you're a private citizen, nobody cares about your transcript and your result. But now you are a public citizen. You belong to us Nigerians. And we have a right to scrutinize all of your documents. And why are you hiding it? In the space of 3 days, 2 appeals against releasing the document. Now you are saying, only release the one limit it to the one I submitted to I. No. The whole thing must be in public glare for accountability's sake. Isn't it sad enough that they are reporting the case on American media? We're having certificate discrepancy as regards the office of the President of Nigeria? What is going on? So President Tinubu, you claimed that you are an A-class student. You are very cerebral. We want to see your glowing academic records in your transcripts. That's all. We've had some schoolmates come out and say that they went to school with you at the same time and all of that. There's even a document circulating that somebody filed and said, oh, under oath, I was this. Let's see the glowing academic record you claim you have, pure and simple. Because this is the seat of the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria here. So when there are people that say they need a document, I think you should be wholeheartedly release it to them and the whole document so that they can see everything. Not just limited it to some. Because this is getting shocking by the day. This should be a no-brainer. In fact, before now, and this is not about Atiku Abubakar. This is about the integrity of the seat of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. CSU claimed you came there. You graduated from there. So, hey, why is your school documents and credentials a problem? Why are you having 2 appeals to block them? What's going on? Waiting they happen.
Yes, waiting they happen. So guys, like I said before now, that information reaching us is saying that the court in the United States has granted Atiku his prayer, meaning that Atiku is going to end up getting this document. Although we are going to confirm this tomorrow. Doc, what do you have to say about all this?
During the campaign, good evening, Nigerians and all lovers of Nigeria and the struggle of Nigeria. I hope you have a great time this evening. I just want to, by way of reflections, I remember during the campaign era, I came into some kind of banter with some friends in one of the platforms where I belong. And I did say expressly that this election is not about even who eventually become president. That the election of 2023 is about the candidates who is the most decent, who is the most credible, who is the most transparent, who portrays the integrity that can command the respect of the international community and all whatnot. Things that has to do with these soft values that makes for the integrity of both the person of the president and the office of the president. Some people were shouting me down then. And of course, while the campaign continued, you heard it. You heard when they say, now statistics will go chop. They go to campaign in some states and say, they mentioned like someone like P2B, they say, that one, I can't even mention his name. Now here we are today. And the things we are discussing at the level of the presidency are things that if it happens at the level of WAEC, the person involved is in trouble. I mean, we saw what happened with a little girl that wanted to manipulate her JAMB results. That person sat for JAMB. That person, that girl, got even a good score, but she manipulated the score, which means she altered an existing document. Is it not true? She altered an existing document. So how is it different with what we are saying here? If some people are swearing affidavit that I went to school with this same person, I mean, I've come to this platform to say that I went to a school that I didn't graduate from because I didn't have the patience and the time. And for some reasons, I paid my school fees, I wrote my exams. And when it comes to the level of submitting my dissertation or thesis or project, whatever we call it in Nigeria, that was when I was traveling to start my master's degrees afresh. So I literally left that one. So can someone come today and swear an affidavit that we are classmates? Is the person wrong? No, the person is not wrong if he swears an affidavit that we are classmates. The university is not even wrong if the University of Nigeria is to say today that I am a student because I have a registration number and I paid my school fees, I paid my tuition, I had a registration number, I submitted my assignment, I wrote my exams. If you go to exams and record, you're going to see my grades there. But did the university actually issue me a certificate as an MBA graduate? The answer is no. Because I didn't finish the last course, one subject, and it was my choice. I walked away, traveled overseas, and started an entirely new master's degree program, and I finished the master's degree, and then I proceeded to continue with other further educations. So the question is, what has the so-called affidavit someone went to swear that this person is my client, a classmate, got to do with Atiku's prayer? There's no, I mean, it makes me even ask myself, do these people even, do they even go to school? What has that affidavit got to do with Atiku's prayer? Atiku is saying...
No, please, can you make that clearer to our audience? I mean, the affidavit, how did we come about
I
that?
saw online yesterday, and even Rufai mentioned it. I saw online yesterday somebody who went to one court. He was deposed in one court or one chamber in Baltimore, in Maryland, in US, saying that he said, number one, that he's over 21 years of age. That's the way the affidavit came. That he went to the same school with so and so person. And even Reno Mockery today posted it as a WhatsApp, as an X message that that someone has gone to swear an affidavit that he went to the same school in 1970, that he went to the same school in the 70s with Bola A. Tinubu, that he was his classmate. So the question I'm asking here is, what has, even if he was in the school, what has them being in the same school got to do with Atiku's prayer? Atiku is simply saying there is a certificate submitted to INEC, Chicago State University. That certificate that was submitted to INEC, is it you people that issued it? Period. What has affidavit flying around got to do with Chicago State University saying, yes, we issued it, or no, we did not issue it? Chicago State University, you said that this name attended your university. You didn't say this person. If you say this person, do you have other proof to validate that it is this person? Because the record you have in your university, which you have released, bearing this name, shows that it is a female. And Atiku is saying, to prove that there is a fraud somewhere or that there is no fraud, show us the detail of the person that you admitted. Because the person you admitted will tell us who graduated. Because the information you have shows that the person you graduated is a female. I'm sorry, you admitted is a female. So there is no way you could have admitted a female, one. There is no way you could have admitted an American citizen, two. And there is no way you could have admitted someone who was born in 19 what again was that? There's a difference in the age. Okay, let me just keep to these two. And now, because the person, Atiku is saying, the person I am competing with in this race for the presidency claims that he has never been an American citizen and is a male. So Chicago State University, can you come clean and explain yourself? And they are throwing one appeal after the other. And this same person that is throwing this appeal boldly told us that he graduated from this university with first class honors. And that is what Rufai is saying. Why would someone who graduated with first class honors not be proud? Look, I don't mean to flatter myself. When I left UNEC to come and do my MBA, I came to London to do my master's degree. I graduated with distinction. And one of the challenges that made me actually left University of Nigeria is because of all those lecturers expecting you to come and sort, the other person is expecting you to come and do, all those nonsense that happens in our university in Nigeria. You're literally going to worship lecturers. Do you get it? It got me pissed off. I came on a holiday in London and I saw some of my clients who were in business schools, London School of Economics, University College London, and all those places. And I'm like, wow, you guys are indeed reading, studying here. This is what I call academics. And that was how I traveled back after my holiday and just processed my admission and came over and buried myself. And I was surprised that I didn't need to see any lecturer. I didn't need to beg any lecturer. I didn't need to chase anybody around. And I came out with distinction. Now, are you trying to ask me today that I shouldn't be proud to refer people to my university and say to my university, please, so people are asking for my record, release it to them. Show them I am a brilliant student when I pass through here. Why should I be blocking it if I don't have something that is not worthy of the public to see. And that's why they are now throwing appeal after appeal to suppress it. Now the appeal is now saying, don't release the academic, the record of whom you admitted. Don't release and Atiku is asking just a simple, straightforward prayer. Show me the replica of the certificate you issued in 1979 so that I can validate that the one submitted in my country is you people that issued it. Is it hard to do? He said, find in your file the certificate of anybody. That man that is swearing affidavit that he graduated with this person, let him give us a copy of his certificate. Why are they swearing affidavit with that certificate? Now that he has exposed himself, let him show Nigeria the copy of his certificate so that we can compare the design of the logo. Should be them be classmates. They graduated the same day, but and the person he's defending got first class, which means he should have received his own certificate first, because of course on the day of graduation it's always the normal. The student with honors will be called out first. Is it not true? Those who got first class, those who got this, those who got that, they'll be called out because they're the glory of the school. And most times their pictures are framed and kept at the department as the best of the bests. What are we talking here? Let that man that is swearing affidavit send us a copy of his certificate. Let him just redact his name so that nobody will go to do this, so that we can see the logo, the font, and the signatures. Because the one Chicago State University released to a Nigerian lawyer had two signatures, different logo and different font. But the one submitted in our own university had how many signatures? 3 signatures, different logo, different font, and different dates. Now, do you know that people can have 2 certificates? I have 2 certificates. 2 certificates when I finished my master's. I have 2 certificates when I finished my PhD. How? Because I used my permanent address in Nigeria. And the moment the university I graduated, they posted my certificate straight to my address in Nigeria. And I called them. I said, I need my certificate. They said, no, we've sent it to your permanent address. I said, no, I am here. And I am no longer in Nigeria, so I don't know if I am going to get it through my post office. They said, no problem. After 3 weeks, if you didn't get your certificate, give us a call and send us a new address, and we'll send you another certificate. Fine. After 3 weeks, on the day the 3 weeks expired, I called my university by phone and said, remember I called for my certificate. I haven't gotten my certificate yet in Nigeria, and I need my certificate here. They said, no problem. They're going to send me another copy. They put another copy in the mail for me. After 48 hours, I got that one. I traveled to Nigeria 3 months after, and I saw the other certificate waiting for me. So I have 2 certificates. They are replica, they are stamped the same day, they are signed by the same person on the same date. No change at all. It is just exactly. The same way, when I finished my PhD, I was trying to file a document for some immigration purpose, and to prove that I've graduated, I went to the student services. One young girl there said, okay, you finished everything, you submitted your thesis, you passed. The Senate had cleared you, the board had cleared you. She just walked into the office there and get me my certificate, put it in a folder and gave to me. And I came home with the certificate before the graduation. On the day of graduation, the university gave me a new certificate. 2 certificates. Signed by the same person, signed the same day, because the system just generates it. It's already there. It's already there in the system. They don't need to start writing again. They will just click and it produces it with the seal and everything. Why are they making this thing look like all of us are illiterate who have never been to school, or that this Oyibo university that we don't understand now because it's there for Oyibo? No. Why are they making it look like that? But the summary of the whole thing, like Rufai is saying here, is because of the integrity of the office of the president. It's not about Tinubu. It's not about Atiku. It's not about P2B. It's not about anybody. It's about the integrity of the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because the impression they have about the occupant of the office will shape how the international community relates with us.
Yeah, so thank you very much. I want you to explain to our viewers, what is Atiku actually seeking from the US? And don't forget that information reaching us is saying that the court in the United States has given the university the mandate to release Tinubu's document. So it's not just about his certificate. So can you throw more light on that? Because we've heard it has to do with his records, which means his transcript will be included and all that.
Let
There
me
will be more
summarize it.
information to be revealed to the public. And how is that going to affect him? Why is he G-trained?
Okay, it's a very simple thing. I have even said it while I was making my statement now. Atiku wants to prove or disprove that the certificate that was submitted in Nigeria was forged, that it was not issued by the university. He also wants to prove that the person that attended that university is not a man, but a woman. Howbeit, they bear the same initials, Bola A. Tinubu, Bola A. Tinubu. And to prove it, he wants for the certificate, he wants the court to grant him the permission to compel Chicago State University to produce for him a replica of the certificate they issued in 1979 graduation for that day, so that he can compare it with the one submitted in Nigeria and prove that the one they issued in 1979 had 3 signatures, had the same font as the ones sent in Nigeria, and had the same logo. Any discrepancy, any change shows that the one in Nigeria was forged. To the extent that he wants them to get the certificate of a human being that they issued that year, cover the name of the person, and stamp it as a certified true copy. Do you understand? So, and that is what the court granted him before they appealed. Number 2, he wants the academic record, the information of the person they admitted, because this university had previously given information showing that the person they admitted happens to be a US citizen, one, and a female. If Atiku is able to confirm that that person they admitted is a female and a US citizen, it then means that it cannot be the Nigerian male we are dealing with, because the Nigerian male we are dealing with is not a female and not a US citizen, based on what he filed with the INEC. And thirdly, he wants the court to give him permit to interview Chicago State University management staff under oath, so that they can explain to him how the certificate submitted to INEC was signed in 1979 by someone they hired in 1998. That is it. Because the person who signed the certificate, who purportedly signed the certificate in 1979, was hired in 1998, 18 years after the person by spirit had signed the certificate before the person even started existing as a staff of the university. And there is what is called the special circumstance in a clause known as the special circumstance in the presentation of evidence at the Supreme Court. Atiku is relying on that particular clause of the special circumstance to do what? To submit. It's called, just give me a second, it's called here. It says, it's called the special circumstance kind of okay, yes, I've forgotten the terminology they use in law, but it means that because of the importance of this, the Supreme Court can admit it because it's already in the pipeline already. It's not as if Atiku all of a sudden wakes up and start cooking up this. This has been in argument right from the appeal court. Right from the appeal court. That is as it has to do with the law in Nigeria, but as it has to do also with the court of public opinion, as we kept saying here, Nigerians deserve to know who is their president. Nigeria, like Rufai said, this person is now our property. We are paying the person. Remember when Buhari was sick, it was Nigeria that paid his medical bill. Nigeria fed him for 80 years, fed his wife, fed his children, quartered him, clothed him, flew him. The people who feed you, feed your family, pay your medical bill, clothe you, and pay you, they deserve to know. So even if the court did not admit it, Nigerians deserve to know. And to be honest, Nigeria should be proud. Because since 20 to 23, 24 years ago, this thing has been technically always been knocked out, technically knocked out. But it's like Atiku wanted to take this bull by the horn once and for all. Let's hear about this thing. Ganifa Wemi died fighting for this thing. Festus Keyamo got corrupted fighting for this thing. He used to be a fervent fighter over this same thing. Midway, he got bought over. He abandoned us in the trenches.
That's Nigerian politics. So, Doc, what's going to be the implication? Now, the courts, like we've always said, the information reaching us is saying that the United States Court has listened to Atiku's prayer. So if he gets this information, how is it going to affect the ruling that we are expecting from the Supreme Court? And what will be the effect, looking at what the tribunal ruled? We saw Wike today, that was yesterday, he attended, was it an NBA gathering? I think it has to do with judges, not just the NBA.
Yes,
he attended their meeting.
2023, 2024 legal year.
Okay, the legal year, they were celebrating it. So you could see the intimate, how closely related he is with the judges. And somebody tweeted something today. He said, look at how Wike and the judge, the presiding judge from the tribunal, Justice Samani, how they greeted. There was a sign that they showcased in their hand. So the guy that tweeted was saying, look at, just read a meaning from, that body language. When you look at how knocked their two hands were, you will know that these people are really, really too close. And we know that before the ruling that the tribunal handed over to Nigerians, Wike came out without fear or favor to say that Tinubu will never, he used to never lose at the tribunal. Possibly he knew what the outcome was going to be. So if Atiku should get this information now, is it going to change anything at the Supreme Court?
Well, as I said, that's the last sentence I just made.
Sorry,
Even if the
okay. Yeah.
even if the Supreme Court decided to trash it, let Nigerians know that we were denied justice not because we didn't make good enough effort. Let Nigerians know in the court of public opinion, in the court of inside of our hearts, let us know that we have moved from the realm of speculation over this subject to a realm of substantiveness where we can say for sure we can now confirm that all these allegations being peddled against this man, that they are lie. Or we have now confirmed that all these allegations is no longer alleged, that it is true. Let Nigerians for the umpteenth time confirm that all those things and now, however, have been flying since early this year and even last year. Since last year, that a female was admitted, that the certificate was forged, that this is some person did not. Let us confirm that they were just bad belly, that it is a lie against the president. Or let us confirm that it is true, that it is possible that someone with this kind of baggage can actually meander and be the president of the country. Let us know. Let us know when we wake up tomorrow how we conduct ourselves, knowing those in the handle of power and what they are capable of doing. Let us know so that when you have issue, you may not want to go to court because you may need to ask yourself, politically speaking, how connected are you before you start going to these courts? Because you understand what I mean?
Thank you very much. So talking about the judiciary and we trying to understand if actually the court is still the last hope for the common man, I want us to take a look at this video that was
The
circulating
judiciary
today. Let's just look at
holds
this and then we'll
lessons
come
for
back.
us. If they could die, we should remember that we too shall die. If at death they took nothing with them, we should realize that at death we too shall take nothing with us. If they stand in judgment now, we too should realize that a day is coming when we too shall be called to account. If whatever they owned in their lifetimes are of no account now, let us realize that the things we are sacrificing everything to acquire now shall equally be of no account when the time comes for us to give account of our stewardship. As a nation, we have been caught in one long, great midnight. Even then, we should not despair.
Okay, can I say something?
Okay.
I think I saw this video earlier today. That was Kano Agabe, the former Attorney General of the Federation, speaking at the 2023-2024 legal year. And he was referring to the justices that died, Sentus Mweze and the other one that died of the appeal court and the Supreme Court. The question I'm asking is, sometimes it's just like when you go for funeral. Beautiful eulogies could be written, a beautiful rendition, but the people who come for such funerals, do they even make a sense of it? Because it is in this same gathering that you say that Wike and Samane, they were probably giving themselves chest and thumbs up and what have you. But what this man is saying makes sense. One day, we're all going to move on. You know, our Nigeria has produced people who have gone. When Abacha was the henchman, you could stay in Port Harcourt or Lagos or Calabar. When they cough in Abuja, you will catch cold in Lagos or in Enugu or Calabar. In the era of Abacha, 1993 to 1998. And we woke up one day. Alas, he was gone. He was gone. There was this powerful person that is in APC then. He moved from PDP to APC from Adamawa State. I've forgotten his name. And then he came to Imo State, if you can remember, to come and help to campaign for, and just like that. One big, powerful person like that, I've forgotten his name. He just vanished. And he was dead. Do these people think like that? I don't know. Because really, we want children to be careful before you sleep. Mind your gap. You're jumping the train, you're jumping the bus, be this. And we scream into the head of the children, be careful. And these same people who are screaming into the heads of the children to be careful, they live careless life, quote and unquote. Because the kind of things they do with the responsibility reposed on them is a manifestation of carelessness, if I may put it that way. I mean, look at, you could talk about the law enforcement agency, you could talk about the executive or even the judiciary. The former EFCC chairman, before he was a lord to himself, and things just changed. He's been dumped in a dungeon for since. No trial, no nothing. Former CBN governor, his own is, we've moved on. People don't even remember that he exists again. And the judge could just drop. And like this man, what he asked, if they appear before judgment, what is going to be in their portfolio? Today they were judges, but tomorrow they will be defendants to defend their own life. How are they going to appear? It's a pity. I just thought I should. We can move on. It's a pity indeed.
Yes, with the way things are really going in our judiciary, one keeps wondering if these judges even know that one day one will leave this planet Earth. You don't just come and dispense justice, whether it is right or dispense your judgment. You don't consider that people want just the truth, as in give them justice. That's what people want. I was watching Galadima. I don't know if you know him, this man that is in NNPP. He was saying
Yes.
that go and check some of these judges who perverted judgment before now in Nigeria. Even those of them that have died, how did they die? How is the state of those of them that are still alive? Because some of these things, they don't even think the consequences that will come thereafter. People will just be influenced easily. If you listen to what this man, this judge said, he was trying to say that the judges are always under pressure. Some of them could stand it or could withstand it, and some of them can't. And from what we saw during the tribunal ruling, I tell you, I watched a video today on AIT television. Somebody was saying that he sat down in his room to listen to that ruling. From the way the judges were reading it, it wasn't flowing, that he can bet his life that the script that they were reading didn't come from them because you could not see that flow. So we've gotten to that point that when our judges give their ruling, Nigerians will not accept it. You can imagine when we are depending on our judiciary to save Nigeria. I mean, to redeem Nigeria from the mess we are into today. But each time they give their ruling, check across the nation. The other day it was Lagos State. They upheld Babajide Sanwo-Olu's governorship position, as in that he won during the election, despite the fact that his deputy is being alleged to be a US citizen. You know, they did not even see that as an issue. That alone can equally disqualify Babajide Sanwo-Olu. And don't forget that he himself, the governor himself, has issues with his own certificate. So, guys, it is all over the place. It's not just about this presidential election, going to the tribunal, going to Supreme Court. It is just all over the places, especially from those of them in the APC. And we've seen how these judges are ruling in favor of mostly the APC, even when it is very, very clear that something went wrong. Mr. Falana was speaking. He said, go and check those of them that were arrested during the election. They've all been freed. So he cited one man from Rivers State who was caught holding dollars that he wanted to, use in influencing the election. He was caught, but the state government went and made case for him. He has been released. That is to tell you that Nigeria cannot easily be fixed, honestly, except we, the masses, we stand up to tell the powers that be that it is time for Nigeria to be fixed. Because looking at what is happening, these people, they are just interested just in themselves, not for the people. I tell you, things are not really looking well. Let's just take this last video, Doc.
Good.
Okay, sorry. I can still pause.
Yeah, just okay, before you come to the video, as you are talking, I just went online. I was just looking at the first 16th of January 2023. A dollar was 503 naira at the parallel market. Today, a dollar, based on where I'm monitoring, I'm told it's more, it's 1,000 naira plus.
Yeah.
And today being the 26th day of September, 40 years ago, 1983 to be precise, 26th of September, 1983. Guess how much? 1 naira was $1.5. That is, you have to get $1.50 to be able to buy 1 naira. Naira was higher. 1 naira was 1 pound. 1 naira was 1 pound. Exactly 40 years today. But today, as I talk to you, 1 pound is 1,265 naira. And I was thinking, 3 months after that day, Buhari took over. He took over and he was in power for 1 year and 8 months before they removed him. And in 2015, he came back again, meaning 9 years, 8 months out of these 40 years, Buhari was in charge of Nigeria. Meaning, out of these 40 years, Buhari had a chunk of 25% of these 40 years. And Buhari is APC. Is it not true? Because if you add 80 years of APC plus 1 year, 8 months of being in military president, you know where we are. You understand where we are. And you do know where our naira was when Buhari took over. 180 naira when he took over for $1. And when he handed over about 700 naira to $1. So, and that is APC. And APC took over from APC and racketed it to 1,000 plus in a matter of how many months? 4 months. They are trying. Continue, please. It just occurred to me.
A word is enough for the wise on this.
What do you say to the clamor for state police, judging from this?
Well, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as...
Is it impossible to have an institution in place that would challenge any abuse or misuse of the state police apparatus if we say, okay, let's go the way of state police?
My analysis on the election this morning on the court shows you that Nigeria is at a dead end. All institutions you could put in place who would make life more comfortable, who would bring about balance in these things, they can't function. They can't function. Is there any attorney general who can serve a summons on the president for certain things, just an ordinary query? Have you heard in Nigeria where the Auditor General of the Federation queries the presidency on the money they are spending? No. Even, let's be honest with ourselves, we need to tell ourselves some home truths. Look at the current recruitment of people into the bench from the bar. Is the son of this the daughter of that? You can quickly make a nexus between some appointees and those who are in power now. Let's be honest with ourselves. Look at so the judiciary that's supposed to be the arbiter. A lot of people don't trust them anymore, and it's from perception. I don't know the reality, but it could be from perception that you just can't get justice. So, if you now have a state police, some of us will leave town. That much I can assure you. What has helped a lot of us in this job that we're doing is that there's always been some kind of balance. Look at what what one governor did in Cross River, for example, to a journalist. Got him arrested, put in a dungeon, did all kinds of things. This is becoming the animal kingdom. This is worse than the military. What we have now, it is worse than the military. I'm not saying that, I'm not asking for military government, no, because it will be same of same. We have built a culture right from 1985. Those who were born in 1985 today are almost clocking 40. And they were born in the midst of this mess. That's why a lot of young people don't understand people like us. Because we've seen our country function. That's why they don't understand. Most of them were born 80, 85, 80, 83, 84. So even those who are born in 82 were just becoming like primary 1 students in 85, 86. That is the culture of impunity. Tolerance for crime. Tolerance for soft landing. Not asking questions. The right questions.
Please, can we pause?
If care is not taken, it will get...
Did you hear that? I like that statement. Tolerance for crime. Tolerance for soft landing. That summarizes it.
Everything.
If we end here this night, that is it. The system we have is the system that creates tolerance for crimes to thrive, for soft landing for people who are breaking the law. The elites who are breaking the law, though, the elites, gives them soft landing. As I said the other day, someone told me, a senior lawyer like that said, that in the bag of every judge, like a toolbox of a mechanic, that he has the tools, that the judges are technicians too. The judges are technicians. They can panel beat anything to deliver the kind of judgment outcome they want. They know the truth, they know the right thing, but they will get that metal and forge it. Something that looks straight, they are able to bend it with some technicalities, technical tools. It becomes horseshoe. And they will tell you that this is judgment. Now, whenever judges begin to rely on technicalities, they are not interested in delivering justice. They want to vindicate somebody. They want to create a soft landing for someone. They want to tolerate someone. That is it.
So really, things have really gone bad in Nigeria, honestly. You could hear him even say that these judges, none of them can look these politicians in their eyes and tell them the truth. Look at, just like I said previously, the kind of ruling, the kind of judgment they are delivering across the nation. I listened to the SDP presidential candidate. He was saying that INEC is the biggest fraud. I saw him coming out to like support Tinubu after the election, you know. But now I think he's beginning to realize that really that something went wrong. At a point, he was even asking Peter Obi to just accept defeat and all that. But now I think it's really dawning on some of them that we can't build a country this way if we are not sincere. Even we using this platform to speak up, some people will think, yeah, it's because he is from the southeast. You are just promoting your tribe. Nigerians, let's be patriotic for a
But
moment.
let's pause. Fine, assuming it is from the southeast. Is there anywhere in Nigeria where they are buying dollars 400 naira, according to P2B? Is there anywhere? All of us are buying it for 1,000 plus. Somebody called me on Sunday, was crying. This lady was crying because she's got admission for the daughter to come and study overseas. She's asking information on how she can get dollars. All the money she had in her account couldn't even get her $10,000. This is the money that could have gotten her almost about $20,000 sometime early this year or late last year. So what has ethnicity got to do with this? What has religion got to do with this?
There is this image I saw on Twitter this evening that people are protesting in Lagos State that the hunger in the land is getting out of hand. So you see, it's affecting everybody. And we must lend our voices in calling this government to order. If you just allow them, they will just keep doing things in their own way that will just favor them, favor the elites. They have the money, they have the power, they have everything, leaving the ordinary man to suffer. So these are some of the things we must speak up against. Let's just finish this
Get
video.
worse. It will even now get worse the more if you end up having some kind of, I don't want to use the word revolution, but some attempt at changing the system. It will even get worse. So, to be honest with you, people need to, it's not a matter of sentiments now. It's not a case of who you support and who you don't. If you support somebody today, it might not be somebody you support tomorrow. But you would have aided a system that can cage any. There's no balance. There is no balance. An attorney in some other countries, maybe for example, in the case of Wale Adedayo, maybe the attorney general who is powerful enough will be able to tell the governor, "I'm sorry, sir, this looks like persecution. I don't think it's a case." Who is that one that will tell a governor here now? You're not known to stand up for principle. If you stand up for principle, you know what we suffer now. You know what we suffer. You're hounded. You had all kinds of threats. This man, I'm not saying, I don't know what the case is. But I would even, okay, let me tell you bluntly, I had advised one or two of the officials there that even if it's a case of armed robbery, this would be a wrong time to bring it because it will look like persecution. But it's difficult for me to analyze it otherwise when in the first instance, all of a sudden he got removed by his assembly members who came to the assembly in a bus. Okay? You can see all the signs. And then after he's removed, then the government tries a petition against him. What about his own petition? Have you answered it? Has the governor...
Excuse me. I don't know. What case are they talking about?
He was referring to a ruling that was given, and he's thinking that the judge that ruled did not rule well. So he's just like taking it across what has been happening in the judiciary, that people are not standing up to the truth. There's no boldness to especially to stop these politicians, because the influence that, that these judges are going through, the pressure is too much on them. And this is part of what we keep saying on this platform, that our judges must be ready to deliver justice. They should be able to do that. We know it's not easy for them. We know they undergo so many things. But I think if they can just stand up for once, especially this last election was just an opportunity for our tribunal judges, for our judiciary as a whole, to like prove to Nigerians and prove to the entire world that we can still get Nigeria fixed. But for me, they missed that opportunity. And looking at the Supreme Court, some people are already predicting that it is the same thing, that most times the Supreme Court does not rule against what the tribunal has ruled. But for me, I'm very confident. And moreover, looking at what Atiku has achieved at this time, I think only that of Atiku, because they might end up saying Peter Obi did not present this witness. He did not present this witness, just like the tribunal did. But this one that Atiku has gotten, first hand in his hand, as in he has this document, I don't think the Supreme Court, like you said, those technicality that they usually use, I don't really think if it can really work, in this very case. Doc, your closing thoughts so that we just call it.
What he said can happen in an ideal situation. But I have seen men cry. I've seen men cry like babies because they know as men they should do the right thing. But they were compelled by other men, bigger men, to do what is against their will. So when we say, you just said pressure, the question is, what would someone who wants to secure himself in a certain position, be it local government chairman or House of Assembly member or House of Rep member or Senate or governor or senator or presidency, depending on the amount of power the person that is at the disposal of the person, how much can the person withhold or unleash to make sure that he secures what he wants? And what is the desire of the person in question? I mean, Jonathan lost the election and walked away. When Buhari lost the election in 2011, he wasn't even a sitting president. Did he walk away? He walked away with blood flowing. He walked away with blood flowing. And even one of the reasons why Jonathan walked away in 2015 is because he doesn't want blood again.
Doc, I wanted to ask you, okay, sorry.
So the people we have now, can they walk away? Can they bury their heads in shame or gallantly say, I've done my best. If this is how I am called home, I am walking out. Do you think they can walk away? Or do you think they will say, instead of me to walk away, let Nigeria burn? Let's move away from the point of view of law now. Before the PEPC judgment, we used to come here and we speak on the point of law. So far, Section 137 of the Electoral Act, still nobody's talking about it. And every evidence they threw out is evidence that was submitted based on Section 137 of the Electoral Act. And they threw it out. Judges threw it out without recourse to that judgment. They treated it as if it doesn't exist. They woke up and they told us, our Supreme Court told us, point blank, that IRF is just a cinema. If you like, go view it. If you don't like, forget it. It's useless. $1 billion is a cinema. It's just propaganda. No, it's just public relation mechanism of INEC to make the Nigerians to be happy. That's what the appeal court told us.
Yes, even on Twitter, somebody was saying that the judiciary has legalized forgery, as in when people forge, it's you.
That's what
you
this,
will not have.
that's what
There
that's
won't
what
be
this
any
man is saying.
Yeah,
That's what this man is saying. Giving them soft landing. Giving them soft landing.
Yeah,
So
I pray
that's my
that
last.
the Supreme Court fixes all this, because we can't continue this way. We really can't continue this way. Nigeria really has to be rebranded. We just hope that the Supreme Court does the needful. So, Doc, I wanted to ask you about Rufai because the audacity in him, the way he speaks, if you permit me, I'll still want to play his video. But I love the way he tackles issues. Doc, please, this video is not long. Let's take it again and then you say something with
is certain who is when that document is released. And please, it's not about Atiku Abubakar. It's about the integrity of the seat of the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And this is a cry for all Nigerians. It is sad enough that the President legal team has said it's going to cause him irreparable damage. I keep asking, for what irreparable damage? For your own results and transcript to be released? If you're a private citizen, nobody cares about your transcript and your result. But now you're a public citizen, you belong to us Nigerians. And we have a right to scrutinize all of your documents. And why are you hiding it? In the space of 3 days, 2 appeals against released document. Now you are saying, only release the one limit it to the one I submitted to I. No, the whole thing must be in public glare for accountability's sake. Isn't it sad enough that they are reporting the case on American media? We're having certificate discrepancy as regards the office of the President of Nigeria. What is going on? So President Tinubu, you claimed that you are an A-class student. You are very cerebral. We want to see your glowing academic records in your transcripts. That's all. We've had some schoolmates come out and say that they went to school with you at the same time and all of that. There's even a document circulating that somebody filed and said, oh, under oath, I was this. Let's see the glowing academic record you claim you have, pure and simple. Because this is the seat of the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria here. So when there are people that say they need a document, I think you should be wholeheartedly release it to them and the whole document so that they can see everything. Not just limited it to some. Because this is getting shocking by the day. This should be a no-brainer. In fact, before now, and this is not about Atiku Abubakar. This is about the integrity of the seat of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. CSU claimed you came there. You graduated from there. So, hey, why is your school documents and credentials a problem? Why are you having 2 appeals to block them? What's going on? Waiting they happen.
Dog, waiting they happen.
I think on that note, we can now say Nigerians, good night. There's nothing more to add. Yes,
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today. Yeah, we'll be ending it at this point. Thank you very, very much for being a part of today's live session. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it for others to watch, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell for future updates. Thank you very much and God bless you. Good night. Doc, thank you.
All right, good night all. Have a blessed night too. Bye.
Bye.